Hello there, YouTubers. I'm out of breath. I'm taking a break. But I'm making some really good progress on this today. I did a short on it. I've been working on this for months. And I finally got it to break loose a little bit. It's finally moving. And I've broken enough boards here to... They keep breaking out. There's oak. But I did get it to move a little bit. See it? So I'm kind of pleased. There's just not a whole lot to pry on here either. There it goes. I'm hoping I won't ruin the distributor is what my goal is. I guess you can't see too much, but it's moving. There it goes. That's pretty good progress in my opinion. So we're going to shove it back up now because I keep moving and I keep breaking all these sticks, prying on it with a back flange of the starter. And it's not that it's easy, it's just that I got a lot of leverage. That looks pretty nice there, and it moves pretty easy. It moves easier that way than it does this way. But it has come up 1/4 of an inch, and 1/4 of an inch is enough to get this underneath the, there's a little flange down there. So I've been moving it and jackhammering it, and that's what's wearing the old boy out. And there's no good real shot to this. I'm just too wore out to mess with it, but you can see this, it's pretty close, but you ain't moving that distributor yet. It's still solid as a rock. Oh, I dropped that. So it's tight again, so we'll move it a little bit again. It's just, like I said, there's no good prying spot in the back there. Ouch. That was a pretty good spot. That seemed pretty loose right there, didn't it? Yeah. Still can't move it by hand though. I've been trying to do the 2-stick deal, but that ain't as easy as it looks. And it's really there just ain't nothing to grab onto back there. Right now I'm trying to pull onto a coil bolt. Yeah, there's more pressure on there than you think still. But I'm a long way further than I was months ago. That moved pretty good there. Woo! Yeah, let me move it back and daggone, it's feeling pretty good. It's come up a little bit since we've played. So we'll put this on there, but I'm running out of steam. Like I said, I've been playing with this thing for an hour. Got a pretty good shot at it right now. But it ain't moving. Sometimes if I push it this way and crank it, I got a little more pressure on it. If sawmills don't aggravate you enough, go get yourself a couple old Willies. Can't get in over the top. And as usual, the bark is giving up the ghost. I've smashed my hands on this thing so many times, but it's getting there. It's pretty close. It's only about 2 feet away. Man, that sure feels like it should just pop right out of there now. But I don't think it's going to do that. It should be nice to coming out of the closet for you guys on YouTube. You got to get the big stick. Daggone, that thing is wiggling good. Alright, let's see if we can get it back up and... Hey, this is looking pretty good here. It ain't coming out, but it's moving a lot. Woo! It's getting pretty close. Yeah, you can wiggle it. I'm wiggling it. But you ain't turning it. And it doesn't have gears in it that it's doing anything. Well, we'll give it a little more squirt. What are we doing time-wise here? About to run out of squirt. I've tried every squirt you can imagine. Creel, Kryle, Gibbs. Oh, we're only at 7 minutes. Heck, we're young yet. You name it that I've had down here. I even tried a real wise young guy suggested using wax. So I've heated that block up and melted wax down in there, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and it basically said the same thing. I'm not coming out today. It's getting closer. It's pretty, I think it's pretty close. It's doing a lot of wiggling. Look at that, guys. It came out of the closet. And pointer's up to number 1. Think there's going to be a little rust on this bad boy? That is since the probably 70s. Yeah, in that little ring there, I guess the rust as it was coming off was building up and making a clampet. I got to find the bolt that goes on there. I don't know what I did with that. Boy, I've hammered the heck out of that. That is a miracle. And I hope I didn't destroy it, because that's a watertight distributor. Back in the 70s, this is before Bigfoot and all these mud bogs and that kind of crap. Feels pretty good too. Before all that kind of stuff, the biggest tire you could get for a Jeep was a 38, and that's what was on my Jeep. And you go out and play in a mud bog, and the biggest problem was, oh crap, didn't mean to do that. I almost lost the washer. There was no electronic ignition, so as soon as you got into water, you were gonna flood out or get watered out. So military had those watertight distributors. You know, that really feels good in there. It must have just been the crud on that ring. It does not feel rusted or pitted or anything in there. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it on there. I had that thing cherry red a few times and it didn't want to come off. Look at that. It's only been months. You can see the discoloration around here where I heated it up. That's what we were working on. Here's the, I got to clean those up. Those are what hold the coil. I got everything new for this thing. Maybe it'd be running. That would be a good Christmas present for me. That's, wow, that makes me happier than the tree made me sad. How about that? Anyhow, I got to go down there and find that piece that just came off this distributor. I got to go find the pieces for the distributor and put it back together. And it might be on Facebook tonight as a gotta sell. Anyhow, you put that distributor in that Jeep and you could go underwater. I took the one Jeep that I had. I don't have it anymore, the mud bogging Jeep I made. Now, like I said, this is before mud bogs and before these big monster Jeeps and stuff like that. And that Jeep, when you went down into a water hole, some of them you went in and they were a foot, the water was a foot over the headlights. And then you'd level out, understand, and then it'd be about halfway in the headlights. And when we painted that Jeep, it wasn't this one. The mud line in the Jeep was halfway through the lights. So I remember doing a lot of those back in the, it was early 70s, back when I was young and having fun. Now I'm just old and gray and wore out. Believe it or not, this old beast here will work you. I don't know how many pounds it is, but it's more than I want to mess with. So now I'm going to take a break for the rest of the day. That's made my month. So that's my Christmas present. Anyway, got a little bit of Jeep in the freaking Jeep, which is good. Now that I think about it, we don't need any mice going in there trying to get in there. I gotta go. I have another distributor for it. I'm putting electronic in here. Don't know how to do that, but that's what the plan is. So anyhow, we will see you later. Oh, the reason for that is this distributor here is 24 volts, so I'm running 12 volts into a 24 volt distributor, which the spark just wasn't hot enough to really, this one never did run great, but it ran for years. This engine actually came out of another Jeep. This Jeep here I bought for $200 back in the mid 70s, okay? And it was an old, it's a funny story. This Jeep here got back in the mid 70s or early 80s, very, very early 80s. I don't remember. And it's been around 100 years. This thing's pulled out more stuff. It's got air compressor on it. It's got twin stick PTO on it. It's got no floorboards in various areas, as you can see over there. It's got 2 heaters in it too. And so it was pretty warm. And I had doors. You can see the door I made for it over there back when I was good. Whew, still out of breath, guys. Anyhow, it was a fun Jeep. So anyhow, I bought that Jeep for $200. It had no motor. I think it had the transmission in it. I don't know. But that was the time that I dropped a 350 LT1 in my other Jeep. I dropped a 350 LT1 with a cam in it in my other Jeep. And that one, whew, that was a heck of a Jeep. One mud bogs with that one. Back before mud bogs. That was back before, well, I put it together before Bigfoot was ever a Jeep, before Bigfoot was ever a Ford thing. And the first mud bog we played in, we went with, I can't think of the guy, Gravedigger. And he was there in his original thing. And that mud bog in my class, I took first place. Anyhow, where was it? Anyhow, I paid $200 for this Jeep. And it sat around, so I had an extra engine, so we put the engine in it and used to go get firewood. That was, well, it had to be before I got this land because we went all over getting, a buddy of mine. If you see the JC, and if you've seen the JC on the wood splitter down there, that was a good friend of mine. Probably the best friend anybody could have. And he moved away, so anyhow, we used to get firewood for this. And somewhere along the line when my wife and I got married, come to find out that this came from some relative of hers. Some cousin's husband is where that came from. It was just kind of a, wow, do you believe that? Look at that. This Jeep comes with air conditioning. And it had this box welded on it. I think I put another windshield in it, but I busted it since, and there's a crack in it over there. Can you see all the animal things in here on the windshield? Maybe get back further, you can see that further. It's been in this barn for, man, I don't know how many years. But when I came down, I don't know, in the summertime, I might have brought you guys along. I thought the engine was stuck, and it was the starter Bendix was engaged into the flywheel. And so I put 12 volts to it, and it turned over fine, so I figured I would go ahead and play with it. So that's a wrap on this one here. We're going to go out. It is a beautiful day. I'm going to go from here. The next movie will probably be down at the sawmill. Now it's nice down there, but it's still a little sticky. Just a little bit sticky. But what a beautiful day after the crappy few days we've had. Whew. Look at that. Another thing that I'm going to do, I might do it today, is, yeah, I go rambling on from one thing to the next. How much do you think the tongue weight on this thing is? That's what you can leave. Leave me a comment. I don't know when this will come out. Leave me a comment on how much tongue weight this thing has. I'm going to come down and scale the tongue weight just to see how heavy this thing is. And I got to cut these off. They don't look too bad. Somebody was a pretty good welder that put them on though. And I'm going to move that point down to there. And once I cut those off, that'll be low enough that it can get under a wood splitter. But I'll probably make this, tip it down a little further and go out a little bit more angle. I don't know. It's a beast. Anyhow, hit me a comment down there on how much, well, I don't know, well, how much my scale is going to say that thing weighs. Did you hear that? Shooting range is open in the back. It sounds like it got some pretty good stuff up there. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming along. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell if you want to see what comes up next. I got some nasty hands, and this camera is really getting messed up. We'll see you. Bye-bye.